First of all, I want to wish a very happy birthday to Balu sir. And I am grateful to Shawnee ma'am for giving me this opportunity. So today I will be speaking on two variable Artin's conjecture. So first, let's recall Artin's primitive root conjecture. In 1927, Artin conjectured that if A is neither -1 nor a perfect square, then A is primitive root for infinitely many primes. So if I define the set Na as P such that A mod P is a P star, then Artin's conjecture says that Na is infinite. Not only that, Artin further conjectured the asymptotic density of the set in the set of all primes. So he said, he conjectured that, okay, I can just write P belongs to Na. Nax is asymptotic to Ca into x by log x, where Ca is some positive constant. Later on, one correction factor was added in the asymptotic density, but the proof was unknown. In 1967, Hooley made a breakthrough. So he proved Artin's conjecture under the assumption of GLH for certain Dedekind zeta function. So with a correction factor added in the asymptotic density, which is suggested by Helborn. But no unconditional result was known in this direction. So what we wanted to ask that instead of taking only one element, can we take more than one element so that we can speak something about that? So in this direction, Ramurthy and Gupta proved a result. So what they have shown in 1984, so let QRS be three distinct primes. And from these three primes, they could isolate one set of S with cardinality, set S of cardinality 13 from the monoid generated by QRS. I am not giving the explicit expression of the S here. Such that there at least one element from this set S is primitive root for x by log x squared primes. So in particular, if we consider the group generated by QRS mod P, then this is a P star for x by log squared x primes, so infinitely many primes. In the next year, 1985, Hidbraun refined this result. So he proved that if we are taking QRS any multiplicatively independent integers with one more condition that none of QRS minus 3QR minus 3QS minus 3SR QRS is perfect square. then at least one of this QRS is primitive root for x by log x square primes. So what we can see here that here we are getting 1 out of 13 elements which is primitive root for infinitely many primes. Here we are getting 1 out of 3 elements which is primitive root for infinitely many primes. So the probability is getting higher here. But the positive density is yet non-proved, and in this setup under the assumption of zero free region for certain Dedekind zeta function, in 1997 Ramurthy proved that so at least one element of QRS will be primitive root for positive density of primes. But we are far away from Artin's conjecture, and even we do not know a single integer which is primitive root for infinitely many primes. So we want to ask for more weaker questions so that we can approach those. So several variants of Artin's primitive root conjecture came up, and one of these I am going to talk today. Shall I erase? Okay, just right there. So let A be B2 multiplicatively independent. And now we define a set PAB those primes such that B mod P is in the group generated by A mod P. So now if we just write the set NA in this pattern, we can see that this is nothing but the set of all primes such that B mod P is in either in A mod P or it is divisible by P for all B belongs to Z. So this set is much bigger than this set. We are asking that whether NA is infinite or not. Now we can ask whether PAB is infinite or not, and can we say the density of PAB. So this setup was introduced by Mori and Stephen Hagen. In 2000, and they have termed it as two variable Artin's conjecture. So the infinitude of the set PAB follows from a result of Polya. But Mori and Stephen Hagen proved that, so if I just write PABX as those primes P belongs to PAB, then they also have positive density, but this was under GRH for certain Dedekind zeta function. So the unconditional result, the first unconditional result for the lower bound of PAB was proved by Ramurthy, Segwe and Stewart. In 2019, so they gave a lower bound for PABX. So I am starting with the assumption that A, B are multiplicatively independent, and with more assumption that mod is not 1, then they have given one lower bound of PABX which is x by log square x. In a recent work with Professor Ramurthy and Jyotsna Shivaraman, we could improve this lower bound. So our result says that here.
Do you need this part? Otherwise, we erase that.
Okay. So what we have proved that let QRS be multiplicatively independent. With one more assumption that none of QRS minus 3QR minus 3QS minus 3SR QRS is perfect square. Then there exists a pair AB from QRS cross QRS such that PABX has lower bound x log x by log square x. So our method was inspired by the techniques of Heath-Brown, but we can see that in the classical setup we are getting the lower bound x by log square x. But since we are in the two variable setup, we are gaining by this log x factor.
You mean A different from B?
Yeah, of course, yes. Sorry, I got. Yeah. Yes.
You already assumed anyway they are multiplicatively.
Yeah, multiplicatively independent, so A not equal to B is coming from there. Thank you.
Anyone has any questions? The natural question is the several variable analog. Does that also go through?
Yes, I did not study about the several variables. Several variables in the sense that instead of two variable,